Good evening, family. Welcome to another edition of Thorough Black Talk with your sister Keisha, your brother Tad, and your brother Ashe SJ. Will be joining us shortly. I hope you all have had a great week so far. I hope that you are all in the best of health, physical and mental, because in these days and times, it's very important that we hold on to the mental. Brother Tad, I forgot, will not be joining us this evening, getting ready for this weekend's events. I hope all of you who are in the Brooklyn area, in the NYC tri-state area, will come through Saturday, 1 p.m. at Christopher Wallace Park, better known as Biggie Park. Clausen and Folsom is going down. The OG Wisdom Podcast. We'll be out there with them to kick it off and to celebrate, and they got some prizes, some gifts to give away, so you might want to be there on time. And then Sunday, they will be in Fort Greene Projects, baby. Yes, indeed, on the Ingersoll side. We'll be there on Sunday as well. I'm going to be there. Some of my swap sisters will be there to show love and support for our brother Tad and our brother OC Gutter. So anyway, we got a lot to discuss tonight, family. A lot of shenanigans going on in the political realm, in the business realm. I'm telling you, inflation is skyrocketing. The stock markets are out of control. Investments are pummeling. 401ks are in trouble. Interest rates are about to go up yet again. So we got to buckle up for a long, long ride. And on top of that, it's going to be a hot summer. It's going to be a hot summer. So I hope all of you are understanding what I say by that. When I say it's going to be a hot summer, you're going to have law enforcement on 10 this summer. Specifically those cities and those suburbs where your police commissioner and your mayors and your attorney generals look like you and I. It seems to me that whenever there's a black face in a high place, black people put down, their fighting spears. They like to keep quiet when the shenanigans are going on, and I'm not one for that. We have here in New York a very high crime rate right now, and it has been this way since the end of the pandemic or plandemic. Crime here has ticked off. A lot of people are unemployed. A lot of people are mentally incapacitated right now. You have issues with correction officers who are complaining that, or not complaining, but have a valid point that a lot of the inmates are mentally disturbed and they do not have the capabilities to deal with that. And here in this country, we have a horrible, horrible history of just throwing people behind bars, claiming rehabilitation when there really isn't any. You can't rehabilitate someone in a corrupt system. It's just not going to work. You may have people who come out of the penal system and do very well for themselves, but as a whole, because of the structure of this society, it is very hard to, you know, um, put people on the right path to be successful. What's going on outside is a reflection of what happens inside, and even worse, because it's behind closed doors. And once people go into the penal system, a lot of us forget about them. Oh, they deserve to be there. Well, you got a whole lot of people out here who deserve to be behind bars, starting with your president. He should be behind bars a long time ago. Creepy Joe Biden, who, by the way, um, is gaining favor with a lot of these liberal city mayors. In fact, you have a meeting of mayors that take place, I believe, once or twice every year with the president. And they go and, discuss things that are happening in their various cities, so on and so forth. Now, I don't know if you all remember this, but in I think it was early 90s or the late 80s, I can't remember exactly, but when Princess Diana died and Prince Charles started to become more involved with Camilla Bowles, she and he did a American City tour. This tour was to get a look at urban cities in America and forge a regentrification model. How I know that to be true is because when they were in the city of Philadelphia, shout out to Philly, but when they were in the city of Philadelphia, I clearly and distinctly remember Camilla Parker Bowles being interviewed, and she was asked, what were they doing in the United States? What were their plans? And she said out of her mouth, to regentrify urban America. And I don't think many people caught it. Matter of fact, I know most people didn't caught it. And probably tonight is the first time you've heard me say it. But that was her response. And so since that time, you've had a lot of criminality in major cities across the United States, even in Europe, in London. A lot of criminality was allowed to flourish to usher in gentrification. I know a lot of people talk about, their days past when they was in the streets and doing certain things. Well, truth be told, unbeknownst to you, you help usher in gentrification. We as a people are very ignorant of the law. We are very ignorant of the process and the mechanical workings of politics. We are very ignorant in the responsibility of Black business. And that has hindered us since Reconstruction. Not since Reconstruction have we gained a strong footing in controlling where we are. You have right now congressmen and women who are trying to redistrict their voting municipalities. And that's something that should be looked at as gentrification increases in major cities. I've been saying for many years, at least since 2013, that Black people should vacate the Democratic and Republican parties, that Black people need to form their own political parties. Not only that, But Black people must be politically educated and astute enough to deal within the realms in which they live, to take control of local municipalities independently, to stay far, far away from the Democratic Party because it would hinder you. But in that time, since 2008, really, Black people have been going hard for the Democratic Party, and you have been made the whipping child of that party um, since the 60s. And even before that, you were the whipping child of the Democratic Party. You must remember that it is the party that sanctioned the enslavement of African people in this country. Even before the founding of the United States, when it was just 13 colonies, um, the position of Black people in America wasn't that great, and it still isn't. And it seems that we are going backward um, in everything that we do. Even in development of the mind, we are going backwards. Um, Black people politically do not understand how to use people and other agendas to their own benefit the way that others do to Black constituency. Case in point, with um, jab mandates, um, Black people were hit and hurt the most from those mandates because, at least here in the city of New York, the majority of city employees, state employees look like you and me. But because they refused to be jabbed, a lot of them lost employment. Now, who is going to benefit from the loss of employment? Um, Realtors, because you had a lot of realtors who were itching at the bit to get a lot of people evicted from their premises so that they can raise rents and welcome in a desired gentrified bunch. I'm being nice with my language right now, but you get what I'm saying. Unfortunately, because of our political ignorance, we keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. And that's not the case. It never has been the case. It never will be the case. Um, what also disturbed me since the beginning of the pandemic, um, Black people who were out in the streets in 2019 and 2020 with all of these protests with these Antifas and BLM crew out there in the streets, rah, 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 defund the police and all this whole kind of garbage. Well, if you were politically astute enough, number one, you should have known never to be out there with other groups who did not put you first. Two, you should understand that the script of politicians, in particular the Democratic Party, because that is where the largest majority or voting bloc of Black people reside within the Democratic Party. You should have known that they would use the same scripts that they've used in the past. When Black people get in an uproar, they shut you up by putting a Black face in a high place. When George Bush and was doing what he was doing in the presidency, Black people ran to the polls like never before to usher in Barack Hussein Obama, who had no specific agenda for you on the table and had no intentions of enforcing any presidential mandates that will be beneficial to African Americans only. Um, Twice, Black people, as a large voting bloc, put him in office and got nothing. In fact, not too long ago, in a newspaper article, I think I may have it and I can show it a little bit later, but um, you know, immigration attorneys referred to former President Barack Obama as deporter in chief because under his reign, he has deported more immigrants than any other president in the history of the United States. But nobody talks about that, especially Black people. The same Black people who are out here rah-rahing for Ukrainians um, said nothing as far as the tactics of former President Barack Obama. Not just him, but the ushering in of Joe Biden. Again, both he and Vice President Harris said that they would have not made it if it weren't for Black voters. And yet, Black voters have got nothing specifically for them or for us. The AAPI community, within 6 months, got tangibles. They got a hate crime bill. Millions of dollars in various cities. Here in New York City, a minimum of 30 million given to API groups. And yet, the people who live in NYCHA housing, that is housing development under the city and federal charter, meaning the city, the state, and the Fed are their landlord, live in deplorable conditions. And that's in every borough, deplorable conditions. But your new mayor, Mr. Eric Adams, and please, when I speak of New York, understand that this is the blueprint for the rest of the country. What happens here, if it hasn't hit your town, you are next. So as he talks about welcoming Afghans, immigrants, Ukrainians, saying that, he's going to offer housing. He's trying to clean up the homeless in the city of New York. But the tenants in NYCHA who pay their rent can't even get a toilet bowl in some of these apartments. Don't have a toilet bowl. Some of these apartments don't have running water. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 times, but years. Some of these apartments leak horribly when it rains. Some of these apartments are infested with mold. Some of these apartments, the entire goddamn bathtub have fallen to the floor below them. These are some, and I'm not even talking about the apartments with lead paint. So when you look at the crime in and around public housing, understand the conditions that they are living in and under. How would you react mentally, or how would your children react mentally when they are in apartments where the heat is sky high in the summer and there's lead paint on the walls? You tell me how they will fare in that. Not very well. And I'm really getting tired. I'm tired of Black politicians, more so so-called Black organizations. And I can speak for here in the city of New York, and I'm sure the same is where a lot of you all reside. These so-called Black organizations have a hands-off approach when it comes to Black politicians, knowing full well that these politicians are undermining their constituent base. It really disturbs me. Here in New York, I can name about 8 organizations who all are keeping their lips closed as far as the mayor is concerned, as far as the governor is concerned, as far as their congressional representation is concerned, and their Senate representation is concerned. It is a hands-off approach. And I'm telling you right now, all of you are a disgrace. Now, you don't have to blame Brother Tad or Ashe or Brother Black. I'm saying it. You're a disgrace with this hands off approach. When Black people commit crimes, we in the community are not rah-rahing criminals. Nobody in their right mind do that. Now, if some or a group of people are out here committing crimes, whether it's burglary, robbery, murder, rape, child abuse, child neglect, molestation, whatever it is, organized crime, dope dealing, whatever it is, gun trafficking, whatever. You want these people dealt with legally. However, there is a code of conduct that those in law enforcement must adhere to. And right now in the city of New York, you have all of these different task force established to help deal with the criminality here in the city. But there is no task force to deal with the criminality within the police ranks. None. And don't tell me IAB, because if that was a solution, we still wouldn't have the problems that we have. You have police officers who rob people. You have police officers who engage in prostitution. You have police officers who beat their spouses. You have police officers who are neglectful to their children. You have police and correction officers who are having sexual intercourse with inmates. Where are the task force to deal with corruption within your own ranks? When you have a mayor who is buddy with Jim Crow Joe Biden, as a matter of fact, our mayor, your mayor, those of you who voted for him in the city of New York, Eric Adams, said that Joe Biden is his buddy. That's his dude. That's what he said. Now, see, for me, that's a conflict of interest. That's a conflict of interest. Because we got problems with the president. We have problems with his assistance to other communities when he negated the African Americans who put him in office. So I got a problem with that. How are you buddy with the mayor? You know, this is what Mr. Adams said. You know, this was a while ago, but I'm gonna bring it up because actually it was in February when this article came out, and it came out in various newspapers. New York City Mayor Eric Adams brags he is the Biden of Brooklyn. Hold on, family. Let's deal with this title here. This is his quote. He said he is the Biden of Brooklyn, POTUS's favorite mayor. Adams says he and Biden are both just a couple of blue-collar guys. Really? Where? Where, Eric Adams? Where? Where? New York City Mayor Eric Adams praised President Biden while insisting that he's the president's favorite mayor in the country. We just really like each other. You know, we just got to hang out with each other. Got to hang out together, you know. That's my dude, Adams said during a press conference Monday, according to the New York Post. Adams boasted that he had a connection with the president, going so far as to call himself the Biden of Brooklyn. Now, what black man, consciously thinking black man, identifies himself with someone of an oppressor class? Someone, let me keep reading because I'm getting hot under the collar. Whew, let me open up the shirt now. I'm getting hot. This is a great city, and I'm the Biden of Brooklyn. And I love the fact that the president is coming here. I met with him after the campaign and we spoke and we just connected, Adams said. And I'm sure if you were to ask him, what is your favorite mayor? He'd clearly tell you it's Eric, he added. Monday wasn't the first time Adams referred to himself as Biden of Brooklyn, having told reporters after meeting Biden for the first time during his campaign for mayor that the duo immediately hit it off. I find this behavior to be suspect. Me. They call me Biden of Brooklyn, Adams said at the time, because we're just like these blue collar guys. He is comfortable around everyday people. And you could just tell that when you're in his presence, he's just, he's ordinary Joe, Adams says. He knows the people, but the people know him. I don't know this MFer. I don't know him. He's a guy that can bear the weight of the city, but that you don't mind having a beer with, he added. The mayor's comments come as he is set to meet with Biden on Thursday to discuss gun violence after 2 New York City police officers were killed in the line of duty last month. Okay, where was all of this energy when murderous cops was killing Black people in the street? Where was all of this energy at, Mr. Adams? Where was you at when members of the AAPI community was beating the hell out of Miss Thelma at the Red Apple Nail Salon? Where were you, Mr. Adams? You weren't there. You weren't there. Now, the sad part about all of this, family, is that Black people voted him in. You have a Black man identifying himself as a white man. Who the hell does that? And then y'all go out and vote for him? A lot of people are still behind bars because of that crime bill. Still behind bars to this very day. Giving football numbers for little crimes. You had Khalif Browder in Rikers Island's jail for 3 years for stealing a book bag, or they claimed he stole a book bag, of which he never did. And then when it was found out that the boy didn't do it, because of all the trauma that he suffered in Rikers Island, came home and committed suicide. But Mayor Adams never mentions Khalif Browder. He mentions his buddy Joe Biden. When you have the PBA president, Bill Lynch, here in the city of New York, and every Black person in the city of New York know how Lynch get down. Giving the thumbs up to the mayor, you know something is wrong. If somebody commits a crime, you deal with that person. You do not chastise a whole community because they are upset about your approach to criminality. You can't clean my house while yours is nasty. Your house is nasty, Mr. Adams. It was filthy before you got in there. It was filthy while you're in there. It was even dirtier when you was a senator. Please don't let me go through his Senate record, because I can. And that, my friends, in New York City, that should have been your blueprint when choosing a mayor. If you had understood his voting history when he was a senator, you would have known that it was against your own interests. And you got all of these black organizations in the city of New York who keeping their goddamn mouths closed as far as it relates to him. Keeping their damn mouths closed. And got the nerve to say that you standing up for black people? Now, I don't want you standing up for me, bruh, at all. People used to say attorney at war Ultimatics was a troublemaker when he used to report these organizations as being saboteurs to the black people. Now, I want you to take a look at this real quick. Let's go to his voting record when he was a senator, shall we? How about that? Okay? Hold on. Let's see. Got a little pop-up here. Establish this. Now, all of us in New York with the high taxes, you remember that job tax credit that we used to have? Guess who voted against it? Mr. Adams. You have LGBTQ Marriage Equality Act. He voted yes for that. It's right here. He voted yes for it. There should be an automatic separation of church and state, meaning church or religious worship should not be in the confines of public schools. I personally believe that. Whatever you believe, whatever your faith is, keep it between you and your God. That's your business. It's not for me to get involved in it, nor should I be subjected to it. But he co-sponsored that bill. All of y'all complaining about rent control and all of that. Guess who voted against it? Now, see, I don't make this stuff up about these people. I just follow the record. I follow the record. Nonpartisan Redistricting Commission. Now, remember, I told you a lot of these congressional folks right now are trying to redistrict areas because of the uptick in gentrification. He didn't even show up to vote for that one. But y'all put him in. Y'all put him in. I don't know Mr. Adams personally. I didn't vote for him. I just read. And based on my reading, common sense tells me that whatever he does, it's not going to be in the interest of black people. See, when it comes to us, you have all of these politicians, when we ask for something specifically, oh, we just can't do nothing just for you. Well, I'm not a member of the LGBTQ, but I got to pay for it. I'm not a member of the AAPI. I got to pay for it. I'm not an immigrant. My parents, grandparents, great-great-grandparents, and great-great before them weren't immigrants. That does not have nothing to do with me, but I got to pay for it. But when it comes for black people, you get all of this flam talking or chastisement. Former President Barack Obama used to do the same thing. Always chastising black people when black people ask for something. Never chastising another group. Not even white supremacists. You got a correction officer, what's her name? White, who engaged in an illicit affair with an inmate, a white supremacist, Casey White, let him out of the penitentiary. And nobody, not nobody in the political realm is speaking about this guy being a white supremacist. Nothing. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna drop this link in the chat because I want you all to also be able to look at the voting records of those people who represent your constituencies. Okay? You can use that too. also use opensecrets.org. Matter of fact, I'm going to put that in the chat. Hold on. And it'll also tell you who's funding these politicians. I have a problem with a lot of this stuff. I also have a problem with Black-owned businesses. I always say this, which is true. It is the responsibility of businesses to represent the political agendas of their consumers. When it comes to Black-owned businesses, their number one consumers are us. They are supposed to represent our interests with the checks that they write to these politicians, the connections that they have with some of these politicians, as far as getting charters established, Black-owned charters established. And if you don't have a Black-owned commission or charter where you reside, you need to get one. You need to get one. We got serious problems here, family. Even in Black media, so-called Black media, I should say. Nobody is dealing with the fact that all of these Black politicians, all of them, not only have undermined the interests of their constituency, but have undermined the interests of Black business. Nobody's saying that, except for, the real crew. Those few of us who are doing that. Everybody likes to keep their mouths closed when it comes to Black politicians. Well, I'm not going to do that. Listen, I don't know anything about you all's personal business, you all personal families, but we cannot continue to bring life into this world and leave them in this shithole. Excuse my language. We can't continue to do it. We can't continue to do it. Everybody is afraid to do what must be done. You cannot work, and don't let these politicians come and tell you, well, if you put me in, I can work from the inside and get things done. You cannot work within a white supremacist system to get things done for you. It is not designed for that to happen. You are wasting time. And anybody who believes that is a fool. Many great people have come before and tried. You have Gus Savage. You had Maynard Jackson. You had Adam Clayton Powell. You have so many who have come and tried. And they've even tried to Coleman Young. You had so many people who have tried. Those who have, they either try to destroy their character or kill them. Harlem is not the Harlem of yesteryear. What's his name? Charlie Rangel helped destroy Harlem. Charlie Rangel, Calvin Butts, all of them. All of them. Even white politicians, when they get into trouble, as far as voting is concerned, or they want to resurrect their careers or what have you, they come to the Black church. And the Black church welcomes them into the pulpit. Thought there was a separation of church and state. Into the pulpit to come to speak to their parishioners and pander votes. The Black church has sold out the Black community a long time ago. Long time ago. They in it for the pocket grease. Period. period. Because the Black church, truth be told, is the largest business in the Black community. Billions of dollars go into banks every Monday after that collection plate passes on Sundays. And people start tithing. Billions of dollars go into bank coffers. You even helping keeping crooked banks that don't give you no loan, won't give you no grant money. You even help keep them afloat. We keeping everybody afloat but ourselves while we sinking into the abyss. So when I hear, these so-called Black voters talking about things they know nothing about, you make me sick to my stomach. You're a disgrace to the race and a traitor. Don't ever talk about Malcolm. Don't ever talk about Dr. King. Matter of fact, take your dumb ass to work those days. Because you helped sold out everything they tried to do for your ignorance. And I don't give people a pass today because we live in a technological age where you got information at your fingertips right now. Information at the fingertips. It's no reason for you to be stupid and got the nerve to hold your head up high. We are going backward, back people. We are in worse conditions. I don't care what people are telling you, the growth of Black business, the growth of Black home ownership, so on and so forth. If you don't have a mechanism to protect it, like every other time before, they will take it from you, stupid. Stop selling yourself dreams. You got Black people who are in law enforcement, who are in military, who are in corrections. You got people who are retired from these mediums and don't do a goddamn thing to protect the communities they claim to serve. But your asses was out on the front line for the white man. Don't play games with me. Don't make me embarrass you. I guess that's why people leave Sister Keisha alone. Because you can't play these kind of Jedi mind tricks with me. Because I'm going to give you the real. You have all failed us. I'm not talking about individuals. I'm not talking about those of you who do work. You know I'm not talking about you as a collective. When you got white nationalists who are training their own here and abroad. I showed y'all the pictures last week of the white Nazis in Ukraine. Who the hell is coming over here to take those government jobs that you got laid off from or let go from because you refused to take the jab? Not one Black politician, has been talking about the Nazis over in Ukraine. Nobody from the Congressional Black Caucus is talking about that. No Black senator is talking about that. They keep their goddamn mouths closed and they fall right in line with the status quo. They talk about the strength of NATO and how Russia is going against NATO. None of those bastards said a damn thing when NATO killed Muammar Gaddafi. This is not something that I'm saying. That's something the first goddamn former first lady said, Hillary Clinton. Read her damn emails, all 52,000. Nobody is saying anything. I'm sick and I'm tired of it. Everybody wants a goddamn pass. Everybody into celebrity worship. excuse me, even within the community, treating these goddamn organizations as if they some kind of, let me take a sip of my tea because I'm getting riled up. I'm getting my ginger tea in here. Calm myself down. Let me calm myself down because I'm tired of this nonsense. All of you are saboteurs in your own oppression by voting for these people. Stop it. Please, I beg y'all to stop it. If you don't think we at a crisis, I keep telling y'all, take a day off of your plantation and go sit down in family court for a minute. Take a day off the plantation and go into these public schools. Please. And if you're a voter and you can look yourself in the mirror and said you did the right thing, you're a degenerate. We are at crisis levels. Please, I'm telling y'all, visit your court systems. Just sit down there for one day and see what happens. And I keep saying, we like to deal in escapism. We like to avoid the necessary. And that has done us a disservice for many, many years. We've had so many people who came and warned us of what was going to happen. It is happening. And everybody is still in escape mode. You can't be in escape mode forever. Because as this economy, the way it's going right now, y'all ain't gonna make it. A lot of people ain't gonna make it. I'm sorry, family, but this is the truth. Now, somebody in the city of New York explained to me, how do you identify with a mayor who said that he is the Biden of Brooklyn? How can a Black man in 2022, today is May 12th, I believe, in 2022 identify himself as a white man? This on the eve of Brother Malcolm. I mean, come on, family. How dare he mention the name Malcolm X when you identify yourself. Don't say Thorough Black Talk said it. You said it. You said it out your own goddamn mouth. That's your dude. Malcolm is rolling over his grave. Martin is rolling over in his grave. Adam Clayton Powell is rolling over in his grave. To see the level that Black politicians in this city, this state, and this country have sunk to. Nobody has a backbone. Everybody is go along to get along. Just keep your head down and shuffle your feet and keep moving and hope for the best. Meanwhile, we as a group, I'm not talking individually. I'm not talking about those of you who rock with us and those of you who rock with true Black media. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about as a group, as the whole. We are in crisis mode. What are you going to do? What do you do with a police commissioner who seems more robotic than an AI movie or AI robot? No emotion whatsoever. Now, even in law, there is a code of conduct that must be adhered to in law. When you hire lawyers, those people in law enforcement, there is a code of conduct that must be adhered to. Most citizens don't even know about these codes of conduct. Most citizens don't. If you ask the average citizen, if you hire a lawyer, or what are the rules of code for law enforcement, you should know that. You should know that. Two critical forms of discipline that affect Black people the most is law and politics, and we are ignorant of both. Don't tell me anything about uh, 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 your voting right. Why the hell do you need a voting right when you don't know the fundamentals of politics? There are no mass closed door meetings taking hold today as it relates to politics. Now, if you call people and you say, well, I got speaker so-and-so coming, again, that celebrity worship, Negroes will show up and show out. But when it comes to dealing with things that affect their everyday life, their families directly, their future generations directly, they don't want no parts of it. They don't want no parts of it. And then you wonder why we suffering out here. You cannot celebrate Malcolm and call yourself a Black voter. Malcolm said a Democrat is a Dixiecrat. You can't be that confused, family. You can't be that confused. I see my brother Ashe SJ checking in. What's good, Ashe? Sorry about that.
Yo, what's good? What's good? Trying to get my light right. I was in the background busting some good food down. My fault. I was going in, yo. I had the plant-based Ethiopian. I'm like, yo, right now I'm feeling like I need a nap, real talk. But yeah, I feel amazing though, man. But yeah, nah, you're right. You're right and exact, sis. I was listening in the whole time. I mean, like what you said earlier about like Eric Adams and all of that, like the problem that we have all the time is the people that get into politics that look like us, they understand the game. We get it twisted and think that they don't know how the game works. They know how it works. It's just they come in willing to sell out to win the game. You know what I'm saying? So they get a little string, they get the string and the horse and carrot dangling right over their head. Now he got his mayor position. Next, he talking about Biden. Why is he doing that? He might not even really like Biden, but he might be setting himself up for what? Senator, maybe the president. He might run for president later down the line. He ain't gonna win, but he might try it. You know what I'm saying? But this is what they do. So they know the rules of the game, and they come in and they play it exactly the way they're supposed to play it. And the black politicians that get into it, they get slicker and slicker as they come. You might not see Eric Adams got a bald head. So, don't get it twisted just because he ain't got no hair like Al Sharpton. Don't think he ain't slick. He's still slick. That head is, I'm telling you, he's shining that head with goddamn, I don't even know what he's shining on that head, but that forehead's shiny. I ain't gonna lie. But he's slick. He real slick. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it is, man. They know how to play the game, man. So I'm not surprised at all. It's just unfortunate that a lot of our people seem to think, like you said, Keisha, that they could tackle the demon from inside the demon's lair. You know what I'm saying? Like you in their house. You feel me? Like ain't no way you coming out of that with a victory. You taking a big L, unless you selling yourself out. It depends on what you consider a victory and what you consider an L. And going into it, a lot of our people, we don't really know how to gauge, you know what I'm saying, what a victory is for us. Some people just want to be comfortable. Some people just want to live next door to the devils and smile. Say, have a nice day. Good morning. You know what I'm saying? Some people just want to go along and get along, and some people want to be self-sufficient, have their own communities, and have everything that they need. Farming, military, clean water. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you need. Like, that's what some people want. Some people really want to be self-sufficient as Black people. And some people just want to work and have a better position inside of their health. You know what I'm saying? So when we get these politicians that come in, 9 times out of 10, these are the people that come in and get these positions. And I feel like it's a vetting process from the jump. Like you might talk a good one and you might have credentials and went to school and did all of those things. But either way, they're going to test you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to test you and see like, all right, how much can he bend? How much can we bend him? How much can we break him? You know what I'm saying? How much can we manipulate him or her? You know what I'm saying? Because we see a lot of women politicians that are black that are straight sellouts. You can't even tell they black. You know what I'm saying? So it's all a game to them. And then they once they get a position and a piece of something that's like some kind of level of stature, they just trying to reach the next level. That's all it is. Because remember, they getting paid for it. It ain't no free job. Being a mayor, all of that, they ain't working for free. They getting paid, they getting salary, they getting benefits and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So just like you go on a job interview, they check this out. Do I want to work here or do I want to work here? I don't know. Let me see. So they trying to level up and they in the rat race as well, you know, and a lot of them, when they get into it, they can't get out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they can, but the way that they want to play it and they want to reach that higher level, they got to sell a little bit more of themselves to reach that higher level. They can't come out of it and go in and be one way and then come out and be like, oh, I'm Black Power. So if you expecting that, you're going to be waiting forever. Like Keisha said, the great Adam Clayton Powell, he was like one of the best to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? And he was, matter of fact, and Keisha, he was mixed, half white, half black. You know what I'm saying? But luckily his black side, you know, he was ready to ride. He was riding for black people. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I don't know. Have we ever had a real strong straight black person, you know, that did it on a level as Adam Clayton Powell or better? I don't know. That's for Keisha to answer, because I don't know. I don't study the politics like that, but I know Adam Clayton Powell was a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? And even with him, you know, matter of fact, this is a really good documentary. I talked about it on the show previously on Adam Clayton Powell. If y'all haven't watched it, it's free on YouTube. They got a documentary on his life. I forget the title of it, but if you just Google Adam Clayton Powell movie, or it's an actual documentary with real footage of him and all of that. And they talk about his whole life and everything. It's amazing. It's absolutely free. I think PBS was the one who aired it a long time ago, but it's on YouTube right now. Y'all can check it out. It's a very powerful movie. But yeah, man, you know, it's hard to find people that's really down when it comes to like politics, you know. So we just got to know how to manipulate them. Just like they manipulate our ass, we got to learn how to manipulate their asses right back. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, Eric Adams, well, this is funny. We just talked about this like on a couple shows ago. We talked about how they put the, because he's gung-ho at violence, stopping the violence and stopping the crime in New York, which is Gotham City. You see how the crime, the violence is raising again right now. But he's gung-ho trying to lock everybody up, especially the kids. So we talked about how he arrested all of them 15, 14, 13, 16-year-olds, a whole gang of them. I think it was like 30 or something like that. I can't even remember right now. Arrested all of them. But now it's funny because, I mean, not in New York City, but another hot topic in the news right now is this rapper. Don't ask me. I don't listen to him, but I know of him. I heard of him. Some dude named Young Thug. Young Thug. That's the rapper that one of the rappers the kids listen to now. And him and his whole, it's another rapper named Gunna. Very popular, make a lot of money. But these two rappers, they just got arrested. Gunna actually turned himself in recently. And like, I think they said like 50 of them, a large amount of their peoples, like his whole crew, all of their crew just got arrested. The feds sweeped in, you know what I'm saying, and arrested them. I think they said it was like 26 counts of something, indictment and, you know, conspiracy, you know what I'm saying? So that's the feds, like they really coming in. Like that's the same thing that happened with GS9 right here in Brooklyn. That's Bobby Shmurda and all of them. They got arrested. They went and did time, you know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. Even with 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine and all of that. That was in Bed-Stuy too. He ain't from the Stuy, but all the people, the shooters he had with him was from Bed-Stuy, and all of them got. So this is like a repetitive thing, and you will see that this stuff is happening, and it's happening on a grand scale in the news. You would think that some of these rappers and some of these people will start smartening up and moving legit. You know what I'm saying? Like they making so much money, you know, and they still trying to be mixing and dabbling in the street. You know what I'm saying? And putting themselves in jeopardy, you know? So, but it's just crazy that it's like, it's getting younger and younger people. And not only that, Keisha, but I was reading a little bit on it and they was talking about how once again, the feds have used the rap lyrics in the indictment. They used some of Young Thug's lyrics, you know what I'm saying? So now his defense is trying to like fight against that. And, you know, I read an article, they said Jay-Z and Meek Mill is trying to actually put something together where they trying to get a bill in place or something like that, where you cannot use rap lyrics in a court case. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been doing that to take a lot of these rappers down. They've been snitching on themselves in their lyrics, saying things here and there in the song, and then people, they really actually taking that to court and playing that as evidence in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? But it's just really unfortunate that a lot of our black young brothers is going through this right now. You know, it's like over and over and over again. You would think like when the first one happened, like 30, 40 people got arrested, you would think something would change and they were smart enough, but it's not, Keisha, you know, and like it's crazy because like they making a quota. I know the police and the feds and all of them, they happy as hell right now because they just like taking everybody away. We thought it was crazy back in the days when, you know, we grew up as young men and young women, and we didn't have our uncles and we didn't have our fathers and our brothers and things of that nature, the old heads and the OGs. We didn't have them around. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like generation after generation after generation, it's even less of them. Because we talked about before, like the OGs, you know what I'm saying? They took them away, but at least we got up to being a little shorty. Like we got up to being our young teens, you know what I'm saying? And then they started going away, but we had some presence of them. But now they locking up the young boys by the 30s, 40s, 50s, while they 15, 14, 13. So that means that the 12 and the 10 and 11-year-olds ain't even going to have that next generation to look up to. They ain't going to have no old heads at all. And they definitely ain't coming to communicate with the two generations before them because they not tapped in. It's a huge disconnect. They won't even be able to relate with people that's their grandfather age or their great-grandfather age. So the next young generation of kids out here that's coming up in the hood, like, yo, it's real dangerous right now. They got no guidance at all. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy, Keisha. I don't know. Something got to give. We got to do something. And like,
that's what I'm saying. Ashe, is getting worse, and and it's sad, you know, because the black voter plays a key role in all of this. Unbeknownst to them, they didn't realize what the end goal was. They weren't reading up on the agendas of former President Barack Obama and current President Joe Biden. Everybody was tunnel vision when it came to Donald Trump. You can identify the racist in front of you. But when someone is speaking melodic language and plays on your emotions, a lot of people get suckered in. And that's always happened with black people. And then you have all of these. That's why I said people should take a minute, go sit down to family court and see all these black mothers who are crying. All these black mothers who are crying. Now, Mayor Adams is correct. As he says, he wants to stop the trafficking of illegal firearms here in the city of New York. But I don't see Mayor Adams rounding up all of these white gun dealers. Where they getting it from? Now, he said it's a pipeline from the South to New York. Well, if you know that, get in on the pipeline and lock them up. He wouldn't dare. He wouldn't dare. Just like when he talking smack about Russia as it relates to the Ukrainians in their war and how to deal with that situation. One of the biggest mob entities in the city of New York is the Russian mob. Why the hell he not lining their asses up when it comes to the influx of drugs in our community? You champion the AARP, but they bringing that stuff in here. When you talk about illegal immigrants, right? People like to chastise the Haitian community or black people who are immigrants who come into the country illegally or otherwise. They get chastisement. But what's her name? Mama Lou out there in Chinatown in the 80s, the late 70s, early 80s, brought in over 100,000 illegal AARP folks, round their asses up. But he won't dare do that. It's only chastisement reserved for black people. And that, my friend, is because we allow it to happen. There is no fear of black people. You can do them whatever way you want to. The police can do us whatever where they want to. Just last year, this same month, is when Officer Garcia beat that dude out of his slides in Manhattan. Remember that? Beat him out of his slides. So I'm saying, if you got all of these task force to deal with criminality as it relates to black people, where is the task force for your own people? Where is the task force to deal with these criminal enterprises that are helping the crime flourish in the inner cities? The buck don't stop with us. The buck don't stop, and it don't begin with us. But Mayor Adams, Attorney General Letitia James, Governor Hochul, ain't none of them got that smoke for these white boys that's bringing these guns up here. None of them got that smoke for these Asian folks who are bringing this dope in here. No, none of them. The Arab community, listen, it was illegal to sell synthetic marijuana up until recently. He knew it. Everybody knew it. How many of them Arab business owners were rounded up and put behind bars and their stores shut down? It's only reserved for black people because, one, black people vote ignorantly. Two, black people ain't going to do a goddamn thing as long as you got a black face in a high place. We are addicted to celebrity, and that's a problem, brother Ashe.
Yo, we got to start talking about, you was talking about pipelines, right? That's very, very interesting, you know, because like we always knew like the quote or the saying of the school of prison pipeline, right? But it feel like it just mutated now and it just like transformed into something else because it used to be the school of prison pipeline. But now all the kids, well, not all of them, but most of them, a lot of them dropped out of school and said, why would I go to school and go to college when I could just either play basketball or rap and make some music and make way more money than the white collar, blue collar people that graduate with a master's degree and come home and only make $100,000 a year, or maybe if they lucky, $100,000 a year. When I could get $100,000 a show or 50,000, you know, 2 shows, whatever. Like, you know, these kids is like they understand, and a lot of these kids don't get it twisted and think because they're young that you think they don't got money and think they don't know about money. These kids know about money. Because trust me, the materialism and all that, they know how much a pair of Yeezys costs. They know how much a Louis bag costs and all of that because they want it. You know what I'm saying? And if they can't get it from their parents, what they doing? Right now in the black community, it's a lot of scamming going on. And we can't talk about, oh, this is Nigerians and people from Africa. No. There's a huge stigma about Nigerians being scammers. But we could turn that right back around on African Americans. On some real talk, you know what I'm saying? You know how many kids in the hood be scamming? You know how many kids, and I'm talking about these young boys, like these young boys and the sisters as well. These young boys, you be seeing them walk around, going to school, cutting class, but they go to school and they got on the new Yeezys and the new Pradas and all of that. Where do you think they got that from? Their parents ain't buy them that. They scamming. These young kids is out here scamming, getting it. Credit card fraud, identity theft, all of this is young black kids doing this. You know what I'm saying? They know all about it. These kids, some of these young ass kids, Keisha, these 15-year-olds, 14, 16-year-olds, you see them with some products, they pull out a knot bigger than the people that go to work 9 to 5 every day. They laughing at you. They're like, boom, I pull out a big fat knot. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 right here in front of them. And they living with their parents still. They don't even know what to do with it. They just buying new sneakers, new Louis Gucci belt and all of that because they getting it. They scamming. So that's what the kids is doing now. So why would the kids, logically, if we not giving them no guidance, why would they say, nah, I'm going to go to school and finish this and get my education so I could come out and get a degree, a master's degree, and come and make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Why would they do that when they see that they could go out here? They see the kids that's 16, 17, a year or two older than them with knots that's this thick of money, and they scamming and they got the new car and they got the new Gucci boot belt and all of that. Why would they want to go straight? So now we talking about the prison the school of prison pipeline, but now it just morphed into the goddamn rap to prison pipeline. That's what we calling it now. The rap, or matter of fact, the hip hop, or no, not even the rapper to prison pipeline. That's what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Because either you a rapper, and if you're not a rapper, then you're a part of the rap crew. Because every rapper out here, they need to have a crew to keep them safe. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't want to pay for security, so they got their boys, and they hold them down, give them a little money, buy them a little Gucci belt, and now you're a part of their crew. So you might not even have been doing nothing crazy illegal, but just because you cipher with them, just because you're a part of their crew, and the feds come in and sweep up all 30, you going with their ass. This is exactly what happened. It happened to 6ix9ine. It happened to GS9, Bobby Shmurda. It happened to goddamn the kids I just told y'all about out here in Brooklyn, a new group. Eric Adams swept them up. And now it happened to Young Thug and Gunna and all of them. It happens in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And these are the kids, the babies. They not even 18 yet. They can't even smoke, more or less go in the store and buy alcohol. You know what I'm saying? They're not 21. This is what's happening to the next generation. So we got to really deal with this rap to prison pipeline, dropping out of school and joining a gang, or scam to prison pipeline, whatever you want to call it. We got to start dealing with this, family. And we need, what Keisha said, the black businesses that's out here, the ones that made it to get it. They might not be rich or nothing like that, but they made it to a point where they could be self-sufficient. They don't have to work for somebody else. These black businesses need to have a pipeline to teach the youth how to get a black business of their own, how to build business credit, or pick them up and take them off of the street so they don't have to go out here and scam, and give them a job working with your black business. That's what these black businesses need to do. Because a lot of these black businesses out here, no cap, there's some black businesses out here that's black owned, and you go inside and you won't even know it. Because they got all white people working there. Now, don't get it twisted. If you getting your money, money is money. Business is business. But at the end of the day, when you know that you can hire somebody that's going to change their life, that's worth more than just a hollow business, shallow business making money. You could always make green dollar bills. You could always make that. But how often do you get an opportunity to save a child's life by giving them a job, taking them off the street so they don't have to go scamming, teaching them about financial wealth so they don't have to go out here with the money they earn and spend a whole goddamn paycheck on a Gucci belt? This one belt costs like $1,500. That's the whole check right there. You know what I'm saying? So that's another responsibility that these black business owners have, and all of these people that are academics that have graduated, that have master's degrees and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But that's another discussion that we don't have to get into, because a lot of them is disgruntled right now. Because there's a lot of black people that got master's degrees that ain't getting no goddamn job. And they went to school for a very long time. They started out saying, let me get my little 2-year associates. Let me get a little 2 years. That time gonna fly by. They went in, they said, master said you got to get 2 more years. You got to go back in. If I don't get that bachelor's, I got to get the bachelor's. Now that shit is like crack. Yo, school could be like crack when you desperate. And let's talk about the parents that raise some of these kids, not rear them African-centered in a way to think self-sufficient, but raise them to think, go to school to get a good job. That's all they know. So instead of being scammers, they say, I don't want that life. I don't want that life of crime. So I'm going to do good. I'm going to go to school. But that's all they know. So they just go to school, get a job. Go to school, get a job. So all the parents that thought that they were doing really good by teaching the kids, go to school, get a job, now they did that and they realized they fallen short, because they went to school, they got their associate's degree. Then after that, they need the goddamn bachelor's. Now they got to take another loan out. Go get the bachelor. Master said that bachelor's ain't enough now. You got to get the master's. They go back, get another loan, get the master's. Now they got their goddamn master's degree, and they a manager, but they a manager at goddamn Rite Aid, Dwayne Reed, Walgreens, CVS. Now they managing there. You know what I'm saying? So now they done fell short. Now they looking back at their parents 15 years like, hold on. 10, 15 years ago, you told me to do this, do that. Now I done graduated and look where I'm at now. The appreciation level done went up so much. When I went to school, thinking that I was going to graduate to make $60,000, that was 4 or 5 years, 6 years ago. That $60,000 would have been good now. But now the time I done got out of school, they still paying $60,000, but the appreciation of everything went up. What's happening right now, Keisha? Everything is inflation, right?
Inflation and stocks are pummeling. Bitcoin has cut in half.
But I don't hear nobody talking about no goddamn raises. Ain't nobody talking about no raises. Ain't no raises happening right now. You know what I'm saying? Because the businesses got to even raise their money up to make more money. So how they going? The only raises that's happening right now, they raising the goddamn prices. The prices is raising, but ain't no goddamn salaries raising. Master said, "You want to raise? All right, we're gonna raise it up. Raise the goddamn prices on your ass. That's all we raising around here." You know what I'm saying? But it's sad. It's unfortunate, man. So we gotta really, as people that's parents that have children, we gotta really understand, because a lot of the parents, you know, they not tapped into the market right now either. They don't really understand what's going on. They still think about what their parents taught them. So now to be a good parent, they regurgitating the same thing their parents taught them to their children, but times have changed. So it's very important for us to be aware of what's going on, the state that we living in. You know what I'm saying? Like the way the world is running right now. And right now we in a very pivotal time where it's about to totally change as well again. You know what I'm saying? We at the threshold of everything changing right now. You know, so it's very important for us to be tapped in, family. And like I said, make sure we reaching out to the youth, you know, make sure that we are holding them down, because at this rate, family, listen, they talking, the young boys got young boys out here nowadays. The young boys that's 16-year-old talking about my young boy. Like, your young boy? What you mean you're young? Oh, so you talking about you got 12 years old that know how to shoot. They even put that in some rap songs. My young boy, 12 years old, he got the Ruger, he's shooting. 12 years old, really? If you hear somebody that's 20, 30 years old as a rapper say that in a song, my young boy got it on him, then that rapper is a goddamn idiot. And that's coming from my shit. That rapper is a goddamn fool, because as an OG, as an old head, or whatever the case is, you a little bit older, you supposed to be teaching the next generation better. That's what we used to do. That's what the generation above me did. I used to be tight at some of the old heads that I knew. Sometimes they would tell my moms what was going on. If I'm cutting school, they see me, they tell my mom, I'm like, yo, you out here in the street, you doing dirt. I see you, OG. Like, how you going? You doing dirt. But then just because I cut school, you gonna tell my mom? Nah, because he knew they got a relationship. So they looking out. As old heads, he looking out. He like, nah, young boy, I don't want to see you go down that route. But that don't happen no more. Now it ain't no OGs, but now what's supposed to be the older heads, you know what I'm saying, is encouraging the young boys, giving these young boys a pack, giving them a weapon, telling them, come work under me, come you under me now. And then when that old head get arrested, just like in the news right now, all of their asses is gone. So, you know, it's unfortunate, man. I hope, you know, we make it out of this pipeline, man, because it's dangerous, Keisha. It's real dangerous right now, man. And these politics, that's one, you talk about politicians, that's one thing Eric Adams could have did. Instead of, you know, being so gung-ho to arrest everybody, why don't they have a pipeline to come and sit down and be like, look, these rappers it's a repetitive thing that's happening. Why don't we sit down with some of them and try to get them situated and straight so that this don't happen? Or after this thing has happened, why don't we go meet them? You know what I'm saying? Why Eric Adams ain't going to meet these people? Like, it's repetitive. You know what I'm saying? It's evident. This is where these politicians are supposed to come in and step in and say, look, these are black youth right here. Like, yeah, they might made a mistake. They ain't do nothing too crazy. They ain't kill nobody or whatever. Give them a little slap on the wrist and teach them a better way. Give them a program so that they can become better citizens. Ain't the whole thing supposed to be correctional facility, right? But ain't no correction happening going on in these prison, in these cages that they put them in. They ain't giving them no correction. You know what I'm saying? They ain't coming out like, oh yeah, I did my time. I'm a good, honorable citizen now that I paid my dues to society. That ain't happening no more. You go in there, you get labeled as a goddamn menace. Now you in there, you come out, you ain't pay your dues. Your dues, you in debt forever. You know what I'm saying? That's how they looking at you. So we got to get up out of that mentality, family. Let's just do better. Let's reach out as us people that say you conscious or quote whatever, Black power, whatever. It's up to us to have more patience with our youth and definitely sit down and be like, look, like, don't be so quick to be angered at the youth. You know what I'm saying? You can't have that short temper and just be angered at them so quick. Like, yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, you got a reason to be angry, but look, we got to meet them and give them some inspiration that's going to change their life, man. And you know how good that feel? I don't know if listening audience, have you ever been in a position to change somebody's life? It's nothing like that feeling. Ain't nothing like that feeling. Or even just in a position to do something nice for somebody. When the last time y'all did something nice for somebody? That when you do that and you get that feeling, I'll tell you, that feeling right there is crazy. So do that for your own Black people, and let's see how far it'll get us. But yeah, I see
Facts, brother. Yes. So speaking of that, ancestors work how they supposed to work. And Brother Ashe just led us right into this. I hope we see y'all on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday we'll be at Biggie Park. That's on the corner of Clausen and Fulton Streets from 12 to 3. You'll see Brother Tad and C Gutter of the OG Wisdom podcast. They got prizes to give out. Get involved with the community. And of course, you'll see myself and Brother Ashe SJ out there. So again, family, if you're in the tri-state area, you want to come through Brooklyn Saturday afternoon, bring the children with you, and let's really make some connections to start getting some things done. As Brother Ashe said, there is an alternative to what we're seeing now. And we have to be, those of us who know better, we have to be in the forefront of that change. So again, let's show our brother Tad some support and show up on Saturday on the corner of Fulton and Clausen Avenues. I saw in the chat, Brother Ray from the BK William Mackey Jr. History Club said that next Wednesday on the 18th, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, keynote speaker, 7 p.m., 103 Quincy Street. And of course, for those of you who are unable to come out, once he gives me the Zoom link, then I will make sure all of you that follow us on Facebook as normal will have access to the Zoom information. So again, a lot of people are doing things, but we have to come as a collective. We have to understand that it's us against everybody. And once you adapt that mentality, you understand how easy it is. And because, as Brother Ashe said, these young people out here, they getting it. Whether they doing it through fraud, through crypto trading, through robbing people, through identity theft, whatever, they getting it. They not going for the okie doke no more. As Ashe said, I know people with PhDs who ain't got no job. I'm telling you, I know doctors who ain't got no job. And that's because they didn't want to take the jab. So anyway, we have to come up with a different paradigm. And right now, as Ashe said, that in these major cities, they are locking up these young kids left, right, and center. And I just encourage all of you to just take a day and sit down in criminal court and family court and really see what's going on. If you want to see racism at its core, sit in front of some of these judges. Because judges, my friends, are appointed by the politicians you put in office. These are the only offices that aren't campaign to the community. Judgeships, when they should, they affect everything that you do. I told you, Black people are ignorant of the law and politics. It's two entities that control everything that you do, including celebrity worship. Because as Ashe said, he was just reading that Jay-Z and Meek Mill is trying to come up with something, a bill to present to legislators to stop incarcerating hip hop artists based on lyrics. Well, good luck with that because, as Ashe said, the music today has become a platform of snitching. People snitching on themselves, snitching on the community, snitching on everybody, and everybody get locked up. Now, me personally, I can't tolerate it, but I have to because I'm a part of the community where I live. I have to. I can't walk away from these things. You could try to avoid it all you want, but you gotta have to get involved. Secondly, I want us to, if we can, just be a little bit more mindful in our approach as to how we do business with people who look like us, right? So Ashe came in and said, he was just tearing down some good vegan food that he got. Ashe, I wish you could have been with us in Jersey a couple of weeks ago because vegans are us was off the chain. I'm telling you this. When I tell you they food was off the chain, I'm still off the chain. I'm still thinking about that crab cake sandwich I had there. But anyway, um, just so happens that it was a spot that was near to where we were staying, and we frequented the whole time we were out there. We came up on an opportunity that could be beneficial to some of the sisters in SWAT just by happenstance. And the relationship just that weekend we had with the owner of that establishment, just that relationship. So you got to get out there and interact with people. Everything you can't get done on social media, family. You can't. And unfortunately, these folks today, especially our young folks, are addicted to this type of entity. They putting too much out there, which is good business for those in law enforcement. Good business. When you out there flashing them pictures, know damn well they know what your parents make. They know you ain't got no bread. Now you snitching on yourself, and now you putting yourself in the radar to be watched. I think I put a post up early today. Hello, criminals, cameras are everywhere. You can't be that stupid. You can't be that stupid. But they have a don't care attitude. And to have a don't care attitude, that tells you that stuff is bad. You don't care about your mama getting her wig blown back. You don't care. Something is seriously wrong. But instead of dealing with the crisis, the issue at hand, you want to chastise black people as a whole. That ain't going to get you nowhere, Mr. Mayor, but dissent. Because as far as I'm concerned, I better not see none of your people pandering votes on my block. They gonna get this work for real. Don't send them mother effers over here because they gonna be embarrassed. I'm telling you. We don't play that on this block over here. I'm running the block. We don't play that over here. So don't send them down this way. But we have to be more mindful in our approach. Now, I want to move on to something real quick. Here on Thorough Black Talk, even if we don't engage with certain things, it's our responsibility to point it out, bring it to the floor, and see what y'all got to say about it. Now, all of this hoopla over the death of Kevin Samuels, who's somebody I did not watch. I saw a couple of clips of him or what have you, but my brain power can't digest certain things. That's number one. And then two, I'm too busy to sit and listen to somebody tell me what the fundamentals of a quality relationship is when you ain't in one.
Exactly.
You can't tell me nothing.
Yep.
Not a goddamn thing. You can tell me how to fail at one. You can't tell me how to maintain one. So, that was never my thing. But anyway, he died this weekend or the past weekend or what have you. And all of this commentary on social media. Now, I happened to come across a YouTube channel, and they were talking about men having multiple partners. Well, this is where I'm talking about ignorance of law. First of all, Sister Farnessa said, you better say that again. I hear that, Farnessa. But first of all, let me make this perfectly clear. For when you are engaging in adulterous acts, you are breaking the law in more than 23 states. You know it's a crime to commit adultery in 23 states. You see, if it's me, I'm going to have you prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Don't play no games with me over here. However, you have hepatitis, you have COVID, you got all of these sexually transmitted diseases that are at an all-time high, and you encourage people to have multiple partners and then wonder why you sick and you die off, or your nuts is falling off, or your breast is leaking. Like, what is going on here? It is a crime to commit adultery in certain states. You can have it prosecuted if you can prove it. Just that most people don't like to go that route because most people who get divorced can't pay for legal representation that will go that far. I can. However, we ain't talking about me. I'm just saying, why would you encourage this type of behavior when, one, you could spend time in jail, two, you could pay hefty fines, and three, you could end up dead? And it is a fracture of the community. This ain't 3 BC. Stop trying to live like you in it. That's the problem. And that's a problem I find, Brother Ashe, with a lot of people who fail at relationships, male-woman relationships, because that's the only one I'm talking about over here. I don't know about nothing else. But people seem to have this selfish mentality that it is about my needs and my needs only. When you get married, people, again, we're going to go to the law. You have to apply for what? A marriage license. You cannot get married in this country or abroad without a license. The reason why you need a license to get married is because the government sees you and you as business entities. You bring these two entities together. So just like any other business partnership, let's say me and Brother Ashe own a cake factory, and we sign a contract that all of proceeds of Thorough Black Talk Cake Factory will be split evenly. But I decide to be a little greedy and say I want the majority of the funds. Even though Ashe put down as much money as I did majority of the work or what have you, I feel that, I deserve a little bit more. You can't do that. Ashe can sue me, take everything I have, and put me behind bars. The same can happen in marriage. It is a business arrangement. That's why when people get divorced, you have people fighting for spousal support, child support. You want a standard of living that you previously had. Why do you think these terminologies come up in marriage settlements or divorce decrees? It's because it is a business relationship. You can't do what you want to do and destroy the relationship of the business. That's why when people go through divorce, they get taken to the cleanest. There's a reason for that. So you keep listening to these YouTubers if you want to. They ain't got no goddamn relationship. They ain't never had none. Don't know what a business is as far as marriage is concerned. There are entities that go on with the foresters that if these entities break up, the business dissolves. It's finished. It is done. There are certain things that I do in this marriage that my husband cannot do. He will tell you that. There are certain things he does I cannot do. I have no shame in telling you that. If this arrangement dissolves, we in trouble. We in trouble. So don't listen to these fools that are out here for clicks and cash apps and whatever else they tricking y'all for, and get your emotions all in an uproar based on their emotional needs and wants. That's one of the problems of the Black community. A wise man once said, if a man or woman can't control their sexual urges, they aren't to be trusted. How do you think Black leaders have been brought down? Hell, they came in even after Dr. King for his side chicks. They wasn't playing. They not playing. Bad behavior puts you in a trap. And when you're in that trap, you can't get out. As Brother Ashe said, a lot of these Black politicians may go into the thing saying, well, I'm going to do the best that I can. But because of their narcissistic bad behaviors, they fail. And now the leaders of said parties have you by the kahunas, and you have to do exactly what they say or else. You have to do exactly what they say or else. It's the same in these Black organizations. Get your narcissistic behaviors in check, because if you don't, you too are degenerates and not serving the community as you should. If we go down the line of all these Black organizations that are ineffective or have crumbled, it goes back to the leadership's narcissistic behavior. You can't operate like that. That's why entities in other communities last for generations and centuries and are continuously progressive. You have to get these things in check, especially when you know these people are coming for you. Stay within the parameters of the law so that you don't get yourself in no foolishness. But it seems to be very hard, Brother Ashe, for people to get their own gratifications in order. You know, there are certain things that I like, but I have to keep it in check. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like someone who has high blood pressure, and your physician tells you to stay away from salt. Stop eating those potato chips. But you say, oh, hell no, I'm going to eat these potato chips anyway. But then wonder why you on medication for the rest of your goddamn life. That relationship between the bad foods, excuse me, and the environment, excuse me, that are keeping you sick, because you can't get your own self-gratifications in control. It's harming you. It's the same with the goddamn relationships. Don't let these YouTubers fool y'all. Don't let them fool y'all. I saw one who was talking about plural marriages. You shouldn't even be discussing such a thing when you can't protect one woman, because Urugu could come in anytime and take your woman from you. What you gonna do about it? They're already killing your babies in the goddamn street. You ain't doing nothing. Nothing. You have the nerve to say you want to get more. You can't. Listen, family, don't let these people fool y'all. Don't let these people get your emotions in an uproar and take you off kilter. Stay focused on what we have to do. As Ashe said, and as I stated earlier before him, we have serious work to do in our communities. We have serious organizing that must be done so that we are progressive. I'm tired of us just surviving. We ain't progressive. And I feel sorry for a lot of Black business out here that are flourishing and doing a damn thing, because at a moment's notice, they can take it from you. Just because you may have taken a picture with said rapper who talked about killing somebody or stealing something, and because you in a photo with them, they done snatched you, and your business is destroyed. Your family is destroyed. The community that relied on you for that product or service is now looking elsewhere because you can't keep yourself under control. I fight an urge every day. It's a hard urge. I ain't gonna tell y'all what it is, but I'm telling you something. I fight it every day, and I pray every day. Ancestors, rock with me. Rock with me. You gotta keep your own self gratification under control. I'm telling you, family, that need, that urge to get out there and just vote for the hell of it. Look where it got us. I don't make this stuff up, family. You got all of these charlatans who came amongst the community saying they gonna build this, do that, start this, do that, and start that. And everybody gave up the ends. And we still ain't got those things. And they still out here running amok. So your enemy looks at you and say, you're a clown. You can't even get your house in order. I don't gotta respect you. Your house is out of order. Yeah, my house is out of order too, but I can protect mine and you can't. I could take yours and still live in degeneracy, and you can't do nothing about it. So see, you have to see it for what it is, family. You got to see it for what it is. We got to be better in our approach. Don't get caught up, and I see a lot of old heads caught up in this celebrity worship. I'm seeing women in their 50s, 60s taking nudie pictures and bikinis. And listen, you somebody grandmother, go sit down somewhere. What are you doing? I never want my grandson to see his grandmother out of pocket. Are you crazy? I put that stuff on for Mr. Forrester, not for the world. Like, this is crazy. Like, who the hell does that? But everybody, Brother Ashe, is addicted to this worship, this celebrity worship. Everybody want 15 minutes and better, brother.
Yo, you hit on something that I always tell my homies, yo. I'll be like, everything for brothers, right? And for sisters as well, but especially for brothers, like everything that used to be cool and sacred about getting a woman is all for everybody to see on Instagram now. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the days, a sister, I'm not a sister, so I can't, but I could imagine when you see a brother, you like, man, and then you talk to him and he got a good mind. It's like, damn, imagine what it would be like if you was with that person. And then imagine what everything else would be like, you know, on an intimate level. Brothers, like, you know, we visual. So from first sight, we see something we attracted to. We like, man, imagine what it would be like to be intimate with that person. Not everybody can be, in their way, intimate with the goddamn visual of this person. They might not get the physical, but they getting to see everything. I mean, we talking about back in the days, like, first of all, even the lingerie wasn't even what it is now. You know what I'm saying? The lingerie, just the lingerie itself used to be different. You used to have a piece. Sometimes you have a whole bodysuit. That's lingerie. Then you got the tank top. Used to be a tank top. That was a lingerie. Now you just got a string, like not even a string, like two little dots. You got little polka dots you put all over your body. That's a lingerie, polka dots, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's totally different, but I'm just saying, like, everything that used to be sacred about, like, boom, you see something, you attracted to it. If you could get it, then that you the man or you the woman, you pulled that off. Like, wow, I couldn't get it, but you got it. You know what I'm saying? You the special person, not on a shallow level, but it's, you know, it's a pleasure. It's a privilege for you to have engaged with that person and be successful. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody's seeing that. So it cheapens the whole thing, family. You know what I'm saying? When a sister is so beautiful or a brother is beautiful, you know what I'm saying? But then everything that's beautiful about them is just flaunted on Instagram. Everybody sees it. So now it's like, oh, you got it? Oh, so what? You got it. Okay, whatever. It's another one right here. Boom, whatever. I done seen all of it. You know what I'm saying? It's not even special no more. You feel me? So that's crazy. But what I wanted to touch on real quick, right? What you said about this dude, Kevin Samuels, right? Because first of all, that's the first time I ever said his name out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I forgot what his first name was. I thought it was just Samuels. I had to look at it. Oh, Kevin. All right, I forgot. Just so y'all know, the only dude, I never watched this dude stuff. The only stuff I've seen was like reposts and replays of clips that people post. And 9 times out of 10, like I said, I don't follow stuff, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But all of them goddamn reposts that I saw was him. First of all, the first thing, before he even say something, the moisture level of the videos, like I had to wipe my goddamn phone off, my screen off. It's just too goddamn moist. I'm like, this is technology. Don't damage my goddamn phone, please, because it's so moist. My phone is wet now. I got to clean it up because homeboy, all right, so from the jump off the gate, I'm not going to listen to too much of what he said because he's just super moist. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, you know, knowledge and wisdom and all of that can come from everybody. Even a goddamn demon can, like they say, even a clock could be right 2 times a day, right? You know what I'm saying? So we don't spit the baby with the bathwater. You feel me? Like we intelligent enough to like take something from some people and leave the rest. You know, but anyway, like I said, most of the videos that I did see, the clips was him either being very moist or just disrespecting and being very rude to black women. That's all I saw. If it's more than that, then it's out there. But he, even himself and his following, got to be upset. And they should have debunked all of that if it's more to him than that. But all I saw was that. So that's what I'm going off of was just all of that. You know what I'm saying? But this is my thing. I don't even want to talk about him. Because what I like to do is peel back the layers, like my brother Tad would say. Shout out to him. He's not in tonight. But let's peel back the layers. For me, it's about morals and principles all the time. I'm always trying to improve myself and be a better person, a better man, a better everything, a better African. You know what I'm saying? So in the morals and principles of this story, right, I see a lot of people, right, and they just share stuff, right? And the people that support him, this is what they're saying. They're saying, well, love him or hate him, he made an impact. I have a huge problem with people that say this, family. Whether right or wrong, he made an impact. Whether right or wrong, good or bad, he was very powerful. Yeah, he impacted. He impacted a lot of people. God damn it, I don't give a damn about no impact. You know what I'm saying? Impact can be good or bad, family. Let's use our brain. You know what I'm saying? When a car impact your ass, you don't want to get impacted by no goddamn car, do you? But that's an impact. That's an impact, right? A car crash is an impact. So you ain't trying to get that kind of negative impact. So if you ain't giving a positive impact, a productive impact, then I don't want to be impacted. Ashe ain't getting impacted by nothing. First of all, the word impact don't even sound right. I ain't trying to get nothing impact. Outpack, maybe.
Don't say impact no more. I say yeah.
I'll outpack maybe, but Ashe ain't in too much of that impact. You feel me? But nah, all jokes aside, like family, we got to be able to distinguish what's good for us and what's bad for us, and not just say, oh, he reached this many million followers and got so on and so forth, so he must be doing something right. Nah, family, we in a world of technology where all of this is the devil we dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Million followers or not, it could be the devil, a horrible energy and vibration that you're bringing into yourself. So we got to be aware and conscious of that. So regardless of what impact, family, let's stop saying that he made an impact this and he made an impact that. Use what's good for you and make your life and your position in your life better. If it's not making yourself a better person, a better man, a better woman, a better African, then leave that impact alone, family, because you know what makes a bigger impact? Yourself. You are the most impactful person that you have in your life. You know what I'm saying? Even the things that you receive, even the things that you listen to, you watch, you follow, the things you eat, the things you smell, the things you see, the things you put in front of yourself. That's very impactful, especially on a subconscious level, on a metaphysical level. You know what I'm saying? So even when you watching these things, you might not agree with certain things, you still programming yourself in a way. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, unfortunately, don't have that distinction to be able to tell what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, we just follow us and we be like, oh, something I heard sounds smart. This person got on a suit and tie and glasses and they went to school and blah, blah, blah. It sounds intelligent because they're using big words. But a lot of us don't have discernment. We don't have that discernment to understand the difference between left and right, what's right and what's wrong, family. So leave that impact alone. Let's deal with morals and principles, things that's good for us. If it's not good, throw it away, family. If it's good for us, then we put that person on a pedestal. But we're not going to put these, because like Keisha said, then we getting back into celebrity worship. Oh, because now a lot of articles are covering this person and so on and so forth. Now I got to go back and watch hours and hours of YouTube videos that I never saw and waste my goddamn time when I could be doing way more productive stuff with myself, getting myself a business, quitting my job. You know what I'm saying? Saving money, buying land, farming, protection, protecting ourselves. So many things we got to do. Studying law, like Keisha said. You know what I'm saying? Being able to get ourselves out of these positions when these feds is sweeping down on our children, like what's happening with Young Thug right now. We got so much. We so backed up with work that we need to do. Why would Ashe be sitting here wasting time listening to that? Like Keisha said, also with somebody that not even in a successful relationship, that's like me saying, "Oh, Keisha, I'm gonna build a house right now." Oh, you been to architecture school? No. All right, you ain't never been to architecture school. That's fine, but have you built a house before? No. Damn. And you gonna build a house now? You know what? Let me take a risk and let me just let you build my house. Maybe the roof might cave in, maybe it won't. But you know, it's all good. You Black, I'm gonna listen to you because you know you got glasses on in the top. You feel me? So like we're gonna listen to what you're saying. Go ahead and build my house. Nah, that's not how you operate, family. When you want somebody that is an electrician, you hire them. When you want a plumber, you hire them. You want a successful relationship, you deal with people that are in successful relationships. And from what I heard too, Keisha, and I'm gonna end it on this, I don't know how true it is. Like I said, I don't study nobody or whatever, but I'm seeing rumors now here and there, and they talking about homeboy died off a honey pack. And Keisha, you was talking about earlier, you was talking about the synthetic weed, the K2, before we had the goddamn, what was the drinks? I forgot the drink, the Four Loko. They went to the goddamn, the alcohol, Four Loko was killing us. Synthetic weed, K2, that's killing us. Now you got the honey pack. Everybody's crazy in the hood. If y'all don't know what the honey pack is, right now in the corner stores, you could buy this packet and it's called honey or something like that. And men are taking it. I don't know if women could take it, but men take the honey. You literally just eat the honey or put it in some water or something. And it's supposed to like give you like erections or something like that for a long time. And a lot of people are doing that. It's like a trend. Even the young boys, even in hip hop culture, a lot of people are talking about this honey pack right now.
And some of these old ass men is taking it too. That's why they're killing them.
That's who it's for. That's who it's for, these goddamn honey packs. You know what I'm saying? So I heard a rumor that chest pains, you know, this brother, if he did, I don't know how true it is. I'm not trying to say something that's false, but if it was possible that that's what happened and he died off a honey pack, that's just crazy, family, for us to be dealing with this kind of stuff and then saying we kind of half conscious. If we supposed to know that it's way more organic, natural products, herbs, roots, spices, fruits, vegetables, things of that nature that would do a way better goddamn job at men's health and women's health and arousal and things of that nature than some goddamn synthetic honey pack. Get you some sea moss, get you some ginger, get you some strong back, some of them herbs, some of them capadula, them roots, them spices, you know what I'm saying? Like go to the West End, go to Flatbush. They sell it in the street. You get all of these herbs. You know what I'm saying? Natural things. Instead of going to the instant gratification and going after some goddamn honey pack. And then lastly, like I said, Keisha too, it's not even a good look for these influencers that are dead, Black influencers that are talking about relationships. Because wasn't we just off the cusp of the other dude? I wasn't following him either. Remember the other dude, Keisha, that was a Black male relationship expert and he was in the polygamy? Wasn't that a whole big deal just now? Everybody was on him. They left him. Now Kevin Samuels come, everybody on him. But this dude, wasn't he said he was a relationship expert and that he got caught cheating on his wife or something like that?
Facts.
So we just jump from one shit to the next. We just looking for this. And it's all, they in the industry of entertainment and you looking for morals, values, and principles from entertainers, from influencers on Instagram, on YouTube. So this is what we're talking about, but that's another discussion. We got to go for another show because, like I always say, right now we in dire times and drastic times when it comes to the OGs. Like I said earlier, the OGs in the street and the OGs in the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? The master teachers. Less and less master teachers are happening as they transition and pass on. Who's taking their place? Who's stepping up to the throne, family? You talking about relationship experts? We got people that have criteria and experience from long time ago that do this. That's not on YouTube. That could use the money and use the support. You know what I'm saying? And they get older and passing on. And who's passing the torch? Who's taking the torch up to continue this work? Because in 5-10 years from now, whenever, and these elders pass away, like I said with the youth, with the OGs in the hood, we ain't gonna have no guidance. That's why we got all of these young sisters out here with crystals and tarot card decks and it's burning all the sage and incense and talk about DMing me, talking about, let me give you a reading. $10, $15 for a reading. I don't want no goddamn reading. I don't want no reading. Don't DM me talking about some goddamn reading, family. I don't want no reading. Most of y'all, unfortunately, are not even in the craft. Like, y'all just bought a deck of cards. Y'all don't got no, who's your OG? Who's your elder? Who's your master teacher? Just because you buy a deck of cards and tarot cards and some sage don't give you the ability to be able to be a healer and a reader. There used to be rites of passage programs where you go through that and you can't be a healer until you actually have completed that. But now everybody's a goddamn healer now. Oh, I had dreams. I had a dream last night. I could be a healer. Just because your ass had a dream, that don't make you a healer. You know what I'm saying? But to step off the box, we running out of time, Keisha. That's a whole nother show we got to go into, talking specifically about the lack of the torch being passed from these elders that are transitioning to the new generation. We're in dire times, family. This consciousness is about to be extinct. This black power is about to be extinct. If you look at the rate of the people that say they black power now and the next generation and the floppy turncoat, watered down, sellout versions that they are, look at them. That's the next generation coming up. So that's an issue that we have to address as black people and people that are solid Africans. We need y'all to step up and really take it up, because you might not want to do it, but look, it's work that needs to be done. And if we don't do it, nobody's going to do it. It's not going to get done. So that's it, family. Sister Keisha.
You know, before we go, something you said, you know, about these dudes taking honey packs. These are the same dudes who claim they want multiple partners. But you need a honey pack. Are you crazy? And I always say this, and let me put the nail in this coffin right now. You can never outsex a woman. The average woman suppresses her sex drive because you can't keep up. How do I know this? Who makes more money? Quick. Who makes the most money the quickest? Male prostitutes or female prostitutes? Who can get it going longer? Because you got to wait to get it up for a while. And maybe you can't after the third round. However, stop believing myths, get out of your own feelings, and get yourself together. Also, as Brother Ashe said, when it comes to passing the torch, even in this so-called black power or black consciousness, the reason why organizations die out is because a lot of these OGs who did serious work became dictators and still are dictators. They don't know how to pass the torch. They don't know how to. Vanessa says something after the first round. And so it dies off. They don't get it either. And that's why I said the black church, black politicians, and black organizations are on the same trajectory to ruin. The same trajectory to ruin. And you don't even realize it. So Again, family, we hope to see some of y'all Saturday and Sunday. Come out to Biggie Park. That's Clausen and Fulton Streets. 1 p.m. We will be out there. Hope to see you. And then Sunday, same time, Ingersoll Houses and Fort Greene Projects. We will be out there, rain or shine. I wanted to dedicate tonight's show to my Aunt Gwen, who transitioned a couple of days ago. Gwen was a strong supporter of Thorough Black Talk. From its inception until her transition, she was a strong supporter of Thorough Black Talk. Normally, every summer, there is a march across the Brooklyn Bridge in honor of her daughter, my cousin Keisha, in the fight for leukemia. The first time she met Brother Tad going out there, Sister Adenike too. Shout out to Sister Adenike was out there with us. She has been a strong supporter of us, and the ancestors are now welcoming her into the realm. And to the rest of the family, continue to hold your heads and stay strong. We love y'all. Y'all stay true to each other. Stay strong out there. Keep your goddamn heads on a swivel. Keep your mental and your physical health in check. Without family, we gonna bid y'all a good night. We out, y'all.